Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Elise and I'm the founder of Elise Little Things. On my video I'm going to talk a bit about Halloween since it's almost here. I can't believe it, it's almost been a year, it's flying by. And I would love to talk about my favourite movies and my childhood Halloween. So Halloween, I've always loved Halloween. My experience with it has a lot to do with my childhood. I've always loved the idea of dressing up as someone different for a day. There was always excitement around it. When I was a kid, my mum used to always design most of my costumes by hand. And to know that you can dress up as someone different for a day that you always love was really exciting as a kid. It was a sense of freedom and the feeling of the magical unknown. But now as an adult, you don't really have the same feeling as you had as a child. But I love to still keep some of the childlike part of myself alive, as I feel it's very beneficial for me to have that imagination that you had as a kid. As I find this part to help when it comes with designing, to think like a kid and to let your imagination run wild. This is some of the Halloween costumes that I dressed up as a kid. This is two of my favourite Halloween designs I did for my shop, this one and this one. So my Halloween house, my inspiration for designing my little Halloween diorama came from my house as a child, when my mum used to decorate the living room with Halloween decorations and of course the Hocus Pocus film. I always remember we used to have this moving hand in a bowl where you put the candy inside, and every time that you would put your hand in, it would try to grab your hand so you can't take the candy out of the bowl. And also she used to put pumpkins everywhere and decorate the whole table with spiders. My inspiration for creating my nerdy pumpkin came from pumpkins, but I also wanted to add in this sweet and innocent happy side to Halloween without it being very dark, by adding the book and the eyeglasses and with the little pumpkin holding a chocolate apple, just enjoying the Halloween season. I wanted this design to represent the fun and the magical part of Halloween. Both of my designs are available in my shop, so if you would like to go ahead and check them out. On every Halloween we watch Hocus Pocus, of course like everyone else, after coming back home from trick-or-treating with like 4 or 5 bags full of candy and making chocolate apples every year and chocolate marshmallows. I really love the story of Hocus Pocus film and how the witches are back from the dead after 300 years. It's a really exciting movie and one of the movies I would definitely cherish forever. My favourite witch would have to be Winifred, as I really love her approach as a witch, from her voice to the way she talks, her face expressions. In my opinion, they couldn't get anyone better for the part in the movie. And she actually used to scare me as a kid when I used to watch it, but it's definitely a great movie. Also a few other movies I love is watching Casper and Practical Magic, and another popular one is The Addams Family and Sleepy Hollow, but my two favourites from this list will have to be Sleepy Hollow and Practical Magic, as I really love the costume design and the whole setup of the atmosphere to be really haunting and enchanting. And that the movie Sleepy Hollow was actually based on an old legend in an old town called Sleepy Hollow in New York. They say there's an unmarked grave of a soldier who was decapitated by a cannonball during the Battle of the White Plains. Another fun fact, the lore of the Headless Horseman isn't just American. There's a Dullahan in Irish and Scottish folklore about a headless horseman that was decapitated as well during a clan battle. But there's so much historical information on that I could be here talking all day about it. What I miss about Halloween is trick-or-treat and the atmosphere around it all, and visiting other people's homes, not knowing what candy you will get, and just the whole fact of dressing up is just something that you miss and you don't have the same feeling as you had as a kid. Also, I would like to talk about the Halloween origin of where it comes from. The tradition originated with the ancient Celtic festival of Shaman, when people would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off ghosts. The Celtics, mostly in the area that is now Ireland and Scotland, this day marked the end of summer and the harvest and the beginning of the dark and cold winter. Also, the Celtics believed that on that night before the new year, the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead became blurred, and on the night of October the 31st, they celebrated Shaman, when it was believed that the ghosts of the dead returned to the earth. People also believed it was a time when witches and warlocks were out and about engaging in practices. In many parts of Scotland where I'm from, it was said that you leave an empty chair and a plate of food out for invisible guests. People believed that it was the night when the souls of the dead of their ancestors were set free and they might come into their houses and eat at their tables. The night was also known as Mischief Night, due to the tradition of playing pranks. Something like that has been recorded as far back as the 1700s. That's scary and interesting stuff. Shaman was a harvest festival, marking the final harvest of the year and the beginning of the onset of the winter. It was traditionally seen as an occasion for making offerings to protect the cattle and the crops over the coming winter. I also wanted to share something else that I thought was quite interesting. It's about skelklers. It's an old-fashioned Shetland folk tradition. A skelkler is the name of a type of a disguised person dressed in a distinctive straw dress or a costume, basically a costume. They would go around houses at Halloween and New Year, and even weddings, in groups performing fiddle music in return for food and drink. This tradition was also common in the North Sea between Scotland and Norway. There's so much history about that, so if you're interested in that, there's plenty of information out there for you to read. So that's it, guys. I will be looking forward to Halloween this year and also Christmas, as it's a time of the year to appreciate the small things in life. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I wish you all a happy Halloween when it comes, and remember to like and subscribe to my channel to be updated on new upcoming videos. Take care, guys. Bye.